Hello, young explorers. Do you ever wish you could reach something just a little too high, like the cookies on the top a shelf? Well, Ellie the elephant felt the same way about the yummy green leaves at the tippy top of the trees in the African savanna. The story is about an elephant who found out that her stubby, short trunk just wasn't long enough. But everything changed for Ellie the elephant one day after a chance encounter with a grumpy rhino led to a crazy accident. You won't believe what happened to Ellie's nose and how she learned to see her difference as an amazing skill. So curl up and get ready for a tale of ingenuity, friendship, and fun as we learn how the elephant got its truly unique trunk. Make sure you listen to the story to the end because I have an amazing surprise for you. And don't forget to hit the subscribe and like buttons if you enjoy the story. Here it goes. It was a sunny day in the African savanna. Ellie the elephant was out foraging for food with her herd. As usual, she used her short, stubby nose to grab leaves off the trees. But she always had trouble reaching the tender leaves at the top. "It's just not fair," Ellie complained to her friend Manny the mandrill. "The giraffes can easily reach the top leaves with their long necks, but I can barely reach halfway up the tree even when I stand on my tiptoes. I wish I had a longer nose." "Be patient, Ellie," said Manny wisely. "Good things come to those who wait." Just then, they heard a rustling in the bushes. Out popped a tiny mouse named Pippin. "Excuse me, but I couldn't help overhearing your conversation," said Pippin politely. "I think I may be able to help you with your nose problem." Ellie's eyes widened. "You can? How?" she asked eagerly. "I happen to know a wise old tortoise who lives by the watering hole," explained Pippin. "His name is Mr. Shelley. He's been around for over 100 years and knows everything about the savannah. I bet if you ask nicely, he'll have an idea to make your nose longer." "Oh, thank you, cried Ellie, clasping her trunk in excitement. "Let's go find Mr. Shelley right away." So Ellie, Manny, and Pippin set off across the savannah towards the watering hole. When they arrived, they saw Mr. Shelley sunning himself on a rock. "Mr. Shelley, sir," began Pippin respectfully, "my friend Ellie the elephant has a problem you might be able to help with. You see, she wishes she had a longer nose so she could reach more leaves. Do you have any suggestions?" Mr. Shelley blinked slowly and looked at Ellie. Let me think," he said. "Aha! I believe I may have just the solution." The animals leaned in eagerly to hear his idea. "Many years ago, I saw the elephants had short noses too," said Mr. Shelley. "But one clever fellow came up with a way to reach the high leaves. He simply grasped a reed with his nose and shook the tree branch to knock the leaves down." "Of course," said Pippin. "Using tools is brilliant." "Oh, thank you, Mr. Shelley," said Ellie. "I can't wait to try it." So Ellie picked a long, sturdy reed growing nearby. She grasped it with her nose and walked over to a tall acacia tree. Stretching up, she poked the reed into the branches and shook hard. To her delight, lots of juicy green leaves rained down. It works, trumpeted Ellie as she gobbled up the fallen leaves. For days afterward, Ellie carried her trusty reed everywhere so she could knock down leaves from even the tallest trees. All the other elephants marveled at Ellie's ingenuity and soon followed her example. A few weeks later, the dry season arrived. The watering hole began to shrink under the hot African sun. The animals gathered there to drink what little water remained. Ellie dipped her reed into the mud at the edge of the pond. When she pulled it out, the mud oozed down in a long drip. "Hey, look everyone!" she cried. "My reed is even longer with the mud on it." She waved it around proudly, but the other animals cried, "Oh no, watch out!" Ellie was so busy showing off, she accidentally whacked a grouchy rhino right on its behind. The rhino angrily chased Ellie away from the watering hole with its horn lowered. Ellie ran as fast as she could across the savannah. Stomp, 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 went the rhino behind her. Oh no, thought Ellie. I'm in big trouble now. Her heart pounded as she raced for her life. All of a sudden, Ellie tripped over a rock. She went tumbling head over heels. The reed slipped from her grasp and went flying away. Ellie lay very still, hoping the angry rhino wouldn't see her. To her relief, it went thundering past without spotting her. Once the rhino had disappeared into the distance, Ellie slowly got up. She felt dizzy after her fall. When she touched her nose, she got a surprise. It had stretched and twisted from all the tumbling and now hung down nearly to her feet. My nose, Ellie gasped. Just look at it. It's so long and bendy now. She flapped her new elongated nose back and forth. It was very flexible and could twist in all directions. Just then, Manny and Pippin came running up. Ellie, you're safe, cried Pippin. What on earth happened to your nose? It stretched when I fell, explained Ellie. Isn't it amazing? Now I can reach even higher branches to get leaves. She wrapped her stretched nose around a tree branch high above her head and shook it. A huge pile of leaves rained down. You're right. It is amazing, said Manny, looking impressed. And it still works great for picking things up, too. From that day on, Ellie's nose stayed long and flexible. All the other elephants marveled at how useful it was, and Ellie glowed with pride when they called her Elephant with the Amazing Nose. You know what? Ellie remarked to Manny and Pippin. My nose may look different now, but I think it's just perfect for me. And indeed it was. Thanks to her long trunk, Ellie became the best leaf gatherer in the entire herd, and she lived happily ever after in the African savanna. The moral of a story is the lesson it teaches you. In this story, the moral is that something you may see as a fault can end up being useful. The story shows us that a difference that seems like a weakness at first can become a strength. Ellie learned to appreciate what makes her unique. Instead of being embarrassed about her long trunk, she was proud of it by the end. The moral is that flaws can sometimes turn into talents if we have a positive attitude. Are you ready for a wordy adventure? I've got the scoop on some super cool words from our story. Now, some might sound fancy, but no worries. I've also got a bunch of crazy cool and mega exciting words that mean the same thing. And guess what? They're like secret code words called synonyms. So let's jump right in and learn together, turning our story into a total blast of fun and super duper excitement. Get ready to rock those words and impress your friends with your knowledge. The first word is stubby. Stubby means something is short and thick, like a little crayon or a small piece of chalk. Other fun words that mean the same thing as stubby are short, chunky, and stout. The second word is tiptoes. Tiptoes mean walking on your toes quietly like a sneaky cat, or when you want to be very quiet. Other words that mean the same thing as tiptoes are quietly, softly, and silently. The third word is ingenuity. Ingenuity means being really creative and smart when you're trying to solve a problem or make something cool. Other exciting words that mean the same thing as ingenuity are creativity, cleverness, and resourcefulness. The fourth word is reed. A reed is a tall, thin plant that grows by the water and makes a soft sound when the wind blows through it. Other words that can be used in place of reed are grass, plant, and stem. The fifth word is marveled. When you're marveled by something, it means you're really amazed and surprised by how awesome or interesting it is. Other fun words that mean the same thing as marveled are amazed, astonished, and impressed. I hope you had an absolute blast listening to the story and uncovering those awesome new words that are going to make your vocabulary sparkle. But guess what? This is just the beginning of our word adventure. If you're hungry for more exciting words and amazing stories, don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button and like this video. Let's keep the learning and fun going together. Your journey to becoming a word wizard is just getting started. Are you ready to shine as a storytelling superstar? Get those excitement levels up, because here comes 5 thrilling questions that are all set to challenge your knowledge and attention to this story. When you answer them with a flash of brilliance, you're going to feel like the ultimate story champion. Are you amped up for the quiz? Buckle up, because we're diving right in to put your story knowledge to the ultimate test. Question 1. What animal is the main character in the story? A. A giraffe. B. A mouse. C. An elephant. D. A rhino. The correct answer is C. Question 2. What did Ellie wish she had at the beginning? A. A longer tail. B. A stronger trunk. C. A longer nose. D. Bigger ears. The correct answer is C. Question 3. Why does the rhino get angry at Ellie? A. She stole its food. B. She blocked its path. C. She made too much noise. D. She whacked it with her reed. The correct answer is D. Question 4. How does Ellie feel about her new long trunk? A. Embarrassed. B. Upset. C. Delighted. D. Confused. The correct answer is C. Question 5. Where does the story take place? A. In a forest. B. In a jungle. C. In a swamp. D. In the savannah. Correct answer, D. Woohoo and mega high fives to all you super genius kids who rocked every single question. You're like brainy wizards, and your super duper focus on the story totally paid off in style. And hey, to those of you who didn't get all the answers, don't you worry one bit. You're still shining stars, and your hard work is like a spotlight on you. Don't be blue, just hit that replay button and give the story another whirl. I've got a feeling you'll totally crush it next time. And guess what? I'm your biggest fan, cheering you on like crazy. Keep sparkling, keep soaking up knowledge, and most of all, keep having a blast that's out of this world. Oh, and guess what? I've got a super awesome secret for you. If you're loving this adventure and want more mind-blowing stories, don't forget to tap that magical subscribe button. That way you won't miss out on a single new story we're whipping up just for you. Until we meet again with a brand new tale, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep being the incredible rock star that you are.